Good day. It's Barb Albright with H&H Agency. KMDO and KOMB have always been a part of the fabric of the Bourbon County and Fort Scott legacy, making us all feel at home. Congratulations on 70 amazing years of community service through innovation and a commitment to this wonderful place so many of us call home.
Hello everyone, this is Sheriff Bill Martin. It's my honor and a true pleasure to take a minute of your time to wish all our friends at KOMB and the Fort Scott Broadcasting a happy 70th birthday. 70 years of continuous radio service to Fort Scott, Bourbon County, and all the surrounding areas. I cannot imagine our lives without our local radio station. Keeping us in the know, music through the generations, all the national and local news, and of course our beloved Tigers, Royals, and Kansas City Chiefs games live on the radio for our listening pleasure. Once again, happy birthday KOMB, and cheers to another 70 more years.
Hi, this is Jamie Campbell, and I am the third child of Tim and Deb McKenney, and I grew up around the radio station. One of my favorite memories growing up around the radio station was watching my mom and dad do remotes. I just thought that was so fun, and I loved just sitting there kind of in awe, listening to them just ask questions and help to promote local businesses.
This is JC Graham, youngest daughter of Tim and Deb McKenney. I, of course, grew up around the radio station and have such wonderful memories of all the great people that have worked there throughout the years, from secretaries to DJs. But I specifically remember going in each day after grade school, and Tom Knight would hand me a big, huge spiral notebook full of all the different song choices, and he would always let me play my favorites, and I thought that was pretty cool. There's, of course, something special to be said as well about remembering driving up and down National and hearing your mom and dad's voice come on the radio. So feeling very blessed to have been around it and wishing the station the happiest 70th birthday.
Hey, this is Skitch. I would like to say a special thank you to Tim McKenney and Deb McKenney for carrying on this great Fort Scott tradition. It is by far the most important part of our small community to keep in touch with our roots. Thank you so much, Tim, Deb. Thank you, Jim.
We know that this work is not easy, and it takes countless hours away from her family. Tim, as her supportive and loving husband, is patient and kind and supportive in all of this. And Deb and Tim together, through their business, the radio station, have for years been a big supporter of CASA and promoting it on the local radio. We're so very grateful for both of them, for their commitment to our mission and their support of this organization and the children in our community. For 35 years, Bourbon County CASA has been a voice for children in our community, children who have been exposed to abuse and neglect and are part of the child welfare system. Over 1,000 children's lives have been touched by a CASA volunteer. Tonight, we're here to celebrate someone who has made an extraordinary difference in that story. For 17 years, Deb has served in the role as a CASA volunteer, and for 14 of those years, she's served on the board of directors. That alone is remarkable, but it's not just her years of service that make her so special. It's the way she shows up. Some people walk into a room and instantly make it brighter. That's Deb. With a heart as big as the sky and energy that lifts those around her, she has this rare gift. She makes people feel seen, supported, and hopeful, even when the road ahead is long and uncertain. So tonight we honor Deb, not just for all she's done, but for who she is. A light, a leader, a lifeline. Thank you, Deb, for being you. Our world is a little bit brighter because of you. Thank you.
Hi there. When I think about what makes Fort Scott and Bourbon County so uniquely incomparable, I think of four things: family, friends, faith, education, and commerce. May 26, 2015 was the date. That's when I became a part of the Fort Scott Broadcasting family, witness and willing participant into how Tim and Deb treat the people that enter their lives. From that high school student given his first on-air gig to the listeners who support Radio Auction. Everyone becomes a part of the McKenney family and is treated that way. Faith, just tune in Sunday mornings, be an ear witness to our faithfulness in this community. Education. The voices of the Tigers are many, from the roars you hear at the live on-air sporting events, prom, graduation, to the ever so entertaining school talk program Wednesday mornings with Destry Brown and his host, cousin Keith Brown, always entertaining. Tune in if you haven't heard it yet. And of course, commerce, the reason we gather tonight. I have 6 words for you: home, sport, farm, and garden show. Gotta give a tip of the hat to the community bulletin board, the trading post, the many throughout your day news, weather, sports, obituaries, lost pet broadcasts, and of course, the amazing mix of music. Also, believe me when I tell you, Tim and Deb know how to make local radio live and just thrum and there's just so much more I want to say, but in the interest of time, I'll just leave you with this. For decades now, Tim and Deb McKenney have woven and continue to weave the fabric of our community with the long-reaching airwaves of KOMB and KMDO. Oh, by the way, Tim, I still have my key. Tonight, we gather to tell them we thank them, we love them, and we honor them. Did I sweat too?
You ask about our passions, and speaking for myself, and I think for Deb mostly in what I'm about to say, is the 4 F's. It is faith, family, Fort Scott, and fishing.
And add an H for horseback riding.
Okay, I talking about longevity in Fort Scott. My dad came to Fort Scott in 1954. Had just graduated from KU and was ready to start a radio station in Fort Scott. So he moved here in 1954 and built KMDO AM. He had at that time already 3 boys, and I was the 4th. I was the first one born in Fort Scott, and we have lived here ever since, made Fort Scott our home. Obviously, we enjoy spreading the good word and make every effort to do that we can. But it's, radio gets in your blood, and you cannot imagine how many people have over the years come through the radio station and gone on to be on-air personalities in other markets and that type thing. But yet they always reach back and are so kind to us when we've asked them to come back for like our 70th celebration event and that type thing. But radio gets in your blood.
Well, in addition to the radio stations, you've had other business ventures along the way.
Electronic stores, cell phones. Early on, we were in the two-way radio business. Beepers, pagers. We sold and serviced radios to the fire department, the police department, the highway patrol, that type thing. So a lot of electronics type.
A lot
businesses.
of good years with Radio Shack.
Radio Shack for many years until Radio Shack left the country. But
so the chamber is just a great way to stay active in what's happening in the community. People say they don't know. That's because you're not involved, and so you need to be involved so that you can meet all the wonderful people here.
Yeah, and a lot of things. I mean, over the years, I've at one time been president of Rotary, exalted ruler of the Elks Lodge, but to live in a community and fully enjoy the experience of a community like Fort Scott, I feel like you have to be involved in things. And I have been to a great degree over the years, but not nearly so much as Deb in the last 10, 20 years. She's